I know you may have heard everything that you had to hear about Hinesville, Georgia. Or maybe you haven't heard anything at all because it's so small. Well, if you're moving to Hinesville, in this video, I'm going to give you a few things that's going to make your transition a little bit more bearable. Let's go. Living here in Hinesville, Georgia, we're kind of a small, very small, country type town. It's real slow. It's a real slow situation here. If you saw my last video, you saw I gave you the cons of living in the area, and that was basically just my honest truth about living here in the area. Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you a few things that's gonna play off of that, and it's gonna be some of the good things about living here in Hinesville. First and foremost, just out of the gate, something that is very great about living in this area are the access to the beaches. There's actually 3 that I'm going to mention, and they all serve different types of situations. The first one would be Tybee Island. That's the closest one. Tybee Island is about, I would say, an hour or so, hour and 20 minutes away from here. Located right on the other side of Savannah, or in Savannah. The next one would be St. Simon's Island. St. Simon's is about roughly an hour and some change. St. Simon Island has beautiful, it's a pretty beautiful beach, pretty great scenery. The next one would be Jekyll Island. Jekyll Island, they have a water park out there actually, but also of course they have the beach area, and the beaches are pretty decent and pretty clean or whatever. Of course you don't have your blue Florida waters or whatnot, but I mean they serve the purpose for nice family fun, or for someone that just wants to get away and enjoy the waters. Another beach that we have that is just north of here is Hilton Head Island, located in South Carolina. It's just across the bridge, across from Savannah. Now Hilton Head Island, that's more of like I want to call it a retirement community. But they do have one of the better beaches in the area, with lots and lots of things to do. I think I want to say that's where my wife went zip lining. They have the zip lining situation, I believe, over there. I never got the chance to experience that, but she had great fun doing it, her and a couple of her friends. The next thing that would be a plus about living here in Hinesville is the weather. Now, when I say the weather, I mean the weather in the wintertime. We have pretty mild winters. Doesn't get really too cold. Well, I say around January. That's usually our coldest month. But around Christmas time, around Christmas, it wouldn't be a situation where you probably wouldn't have on maybe some shorts and a long sleeve t-shirts and some flip-flops. That's how how mild the weather is. Another plus for Hinesville is that you have access to shopping. Now, when I say access to shopping, meaning it's just an hour. It's only 45 minutes from Savannah, so that's where all the major shopping happens. Savannah has 2 malls, the Oglethorpe Mall, and I believe the other one is called the Savannah Mall. Those 2 establishments is basically the go-to for all your clothing, shopping type needs or whatnot. Also in Savannah, we have Broughton Street, and that's where you find some of your high-end type situations. The next shopping destination would probably be the Tanger outlets in Pooler, and also across the bridge in Hilton Head, they have outlets there as well. Unless you want to take that trip down south, going to Jacksonville, they have some shops and outlets or whatever down in that region. Another situation that makes living in Hinesville a little bit more bearable is the fact that you have access to some great food. Savannah has a smorgasbord of shops and restaurants that you can go get some of your favorite dishes from. Fresh seafood is one of the mainstays of that area because one, it comes fresh off the water, and a lot of the local restaurants in that area, when it comes to seafood, that's where they get their seafood from, fresh out of the water and whatnot. But a few of the restaurants that I'm going to speak about, Vic's on the River, that is a that's a very great restaurant. They have a very diverse menu for anyone that wants to come in. Me personally, I love their shrimp and grits. I'm a shrimp and grits kind of guy. I'm a country boy at heart. Well, country city boy, whatever you want to call it. Their shrimp and grits is amazing. Also have, your steaks and your chickens and whatnot, but the shrimp and grits, you can't go wrong with that. You can get a little gravy on it. You can't go wrong, like I said. Another restaurant that's in Savannah would be Roof Chris, and that's self-explanatory. That's where you get your fine steaks and whatnot. I have yet to experience eating there because I'm not really a big steak guy, but I never really went there to see what it's about, but I've heard good things about it. Another restaurant in that area, in that region, would be Pearls. Now Pearls, that is a great restaurant as well, and that's centrally located right there on the water, and that's basically where they get their seafood and stuff from, a lot of the seafood from. That restaurant is kind of like I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it, but just to give you a description, they have like floor to ceiling windows, and it's kind of romantic if you think about it, because you're looking at the water and whatnot, and you can see like the docks and just the wildlife or whatever, and just the atmosphere of being in that type of environment. It makes the dining situation a little more spectacular. Lastly, I think in my last video I spoke on the employment situation here in Hinesville, and that being a con because only a few situations as far as major employment were available. Where that changes significantly when you go on to the Savannah area. Savannah has, I'm gonna go ahead and say, endless employment opportunities. That's a lot of people in this area, in the Hinesville area, make that commute to Savannah and Pooler to, seek better employment offers and basically, try to make just a little bit more money, like warehouse jobs or whatever the case may be, things like that. A lot of the doctors' offices are out that way, nursing situations and whatnot. All that you can find out in Savannah and Pooler, and the airport. That's a major contributor to the employment industry. What's the name of that place? Gulfstream. That's where they build the private jets. If you're not familiar with that, private planes and whatnot. They are a major employment situation if you can get on with them. Out of everything that I basically just said or named or whatnot, the biggest thing about living here in Hinesville, Georgia is, to me, in my opinion, the peace and tranquility of just being home. It's not really loud. It's not really that fast paced. It's kind of like it's country, yes, but at the same time, they're trying to build it up, and you can't really build too quickly if you don't have the infrastructure to, support it. So, yes, it's not Savannah, it's not city or whatever the case may be, but living here in Hinesville, if you want the city feel, you can take your trips down to Jacksonville, or you can take your trips to Atlanta, which is 4 hours away, and go have your fun, or go to Savannah, like I said, and go have your fun, and then come back home and kind of be tucked away from the world. It took me a while to get used to coming in from Newport News, Virginia. Like I said, but it grew on me, and now I'm kind of glad that I'm raising my son in an area like this. The city life is not for everybody, and to throw that on somebody too soon, too quickly, may have a negative effect. But growing up here in Hinesville, I'm thinking that he's gonna be okay, and I'm pretty sure it'll be okay for you in this way. So in closing, I'm actually go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to hit the like button so that we can get it out to the masses, and also go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified next time I drop a video. As always, building my brand one relationship at a time. Next time, maybe I can build it with you. Till the next one, take it easy.